Hey there! You're listening to Amplify Your Legacy. This podcast is packed with insights and strategies to turn your passion into something that endures for generations. So get comfortable, stay inspired, and let's jump into today's episode with your host, Sallana Brown. Hello and welcome everyone to the Amplify Your Legacy podcast. I'm so excited to have an amazing guest with us today. And if you're a speaker, an entrepreneur looking to level up your visibility and attract paying clients, you're in for a treat. She is known as the Magnetic Voice Mentor. She is an award-winning opera singer, international speaker, and life coach, here to share her secrets with you on how to turn your visibility into paying clients and how you can make your voice a powerful tool for your success. Monique, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Sallana. Thank you for having me. Legacy is something that is very important, and it is important, especially in these times, to really be thinking about what do I want to leave behind? How am I going to make an impact so that people can really understand what I was all about, what I believed in, what I fought for, what I stood for. It's an amazing conversation, and it's especially important to have it before anything is wrong, before you're sick, right? Before you're older. It's something that I think we should all be thinking about.
Certainly. Could you tell us more about you and your journey to, wow, you've accomplished so much so far.
Sure. I was singing since I could talk. I was loved singing. I came from a very musical family. My grandfather was a preacher, and my grandmother was a concert pianist. And we always used to say that we got our musical ability from grandma, and we got the ability to captivate an audience from grandpa, because when he spoke, he would have the congregation in the palm of his hand. And so my mother was my voice teacher, my confidant, my best friend. I'm an only child. And she, before there was Zoom, there was Skype.
Yeah.
And so she used to warm me up before every performance. I was working a lot in Europe, although I did work all over the world. And she was with me every step of the way. And after our warm-up session, she would always end each session by saying, "And remember, when you sing, God smiles."
Oh, that's so precious.
It was so precious. And she really, that person that believes in you, even when you don't believe in yourself sometimes, that's who my mom was for me. And I was working in Europe and got the call that she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And
sorry.
she passed away almost 6 months to the day after the diagnosis. And my life got very dark, and it was a very difficult time. I was grieving. I had lost my north. I really, really just did not know who I was. What I knew that I didn't want to do my singing career without her. I was very clear about that. So I not only lost her, but I lost the singing, which, as I said, was how I knew myself, how I recognized myself, since I was singing since before I could talk. And it was very dark days. And Netflix was my drug of choice. And one day I was flipping through Netflix and I came across a documentary on Tony Robbins. And two things happened to me that day. First, I found out that he had a training center where he trained people to coach using the method that he uses, which is called strategic intervention. and I signed up right away. And then there was a segment where he was doing vocal exercises because his voice was in trouble. He was having a lot of vocal issues. He could only be on stage for an hour or less.
Okay.
And so he was working on his voice. And I thought to myself, that's good information, but I'm a trained opera singer. I'm trained to sing in theaters that seat 1,000 or more with no microphone. I sing in those theaters with no microphone. And I said, I know how the voice works and I have better information. And then it occurred to me that day, what if I got to the next Tony Robbins? What if I got to the next person with a big message for the world? And I taught them how to take care of their voice. I shared with them all of my secrets about being charismatic and unleashing their magnetism when they're on a stage speaking. And that got me out of bed, Sallana.
Oh, I love that.
And
that's so fascinating.
My journey to working with speakers and entrepreneurs to help them create their signature talk, unleash their stage presence, and turn their voice into their superpower.
Wow, I love that. What a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a natural progression, that journey from singing to actually helping others, speaking and through their business journey. That's incredible. It sounds like a major evolution from that singing, the opera world, to coaching and speaking. You've built a powerful brand. I love the magnetic voice. I'm curious, what were some of the key moments or experiences along the way that brings up a tip or a trick that you can give to help someone just when they're thinking about amplifying their voice or magnetizing their voice? What would you recommend that they do?
Well, don't shout.
Okay.
Do not shout. One of the secrets that you learn being an opera singer that sings in very large theaters with no amplification is how the breath supports the voice. And when you are breathing in a way that causes tension in the body, it puts pressure on the voice. So if you're shouting, that's pressure. If you're letting the air, which air moves in waves, and so does the voice.
Yes.
So when the air in your body is moving in waves rather than a straight line, you can speak louder by making the wave bigger.
Okay.
Which is not yelling, right? It's
not yelling. Yes.
And so that's a great skill if you're on a stage speaking and the microphone stops working. Most people aren't thinking about that, right?
Yes.
Another tip that I really want to impress upon speakers is I'm not against using PowerPoint. I think it is it can be very effective, especially for visual learners. But a lot of speakers are dependent on their PowerPoint in order to deliver their talk.
Sure.
So they are not fully present. They're reading
Sure.
the PowerPoint. So if you're going to use PowerPoint, let it be visuals and images that support what you're talking about, that gives the visual learner a moment of imagination so that they can put themselves into the picture that you're describing with your words.
Sure. That's so very true.
And I totally agree. I love the way you put it. It's so beautiful because it's clear that you've been intentional about stepping into your purpose. And I would love to know the legacy that you're building right now. What kind of legacy you want to leave behind? You've done so much amazing things, and I know there's so much to do. And you're intentional about that as well. What is that legacy?
First of all, thank you so much for asking that question. And thank you so much for creating space with your podcast to explore the possibility that's created by that question. Not only for me, but for all of your listeners and for you. It's just, it's a magical thing. So here's the thing. I used to envy visual artists because when they were done creating what they created, they had something they could hold in their hands.
Yes.
Right? As a singer, when I'm done creating what I'm creating, it's done. Sure. And yes, there are recordings, but it's not the same as when you're in the room. It just isn't. It's the same thing. Like, we're so grateful to Zoom, right? We are so grateful because you and I probably wouldn't be able to have this conversation if it weren't for Zoom. But it's not like being in the room. There is something a little different about that. And so I started to look at, so what is there that lingers after that? When you hear a great speaker, the words and the vibrations, I believe, continue even after they've stopped speaking. People experience it and then they talk about it. And then luckily we have technology that you can hear it and imagine what it was like to be in the room. I'm on a mission to empower 100,000 voices.
Love that.
I believe the world is in need of strong, authentic, heart-centered inclusion, unity, open hearts, open minds. And those are the voices that I am looking to empower. The world is in need of these voices now more than ever. And although I was very lucky to be what I call front of house, the star of the show, I am really grooving on being the wind beneath these amazing voices.
I see you have your voice vibrates the world. I love that. It's so very true. Explain that even more for us.
Okay. This is one of my core beliefs, and it's something that I impress upon everyone within the sound of my voice. Everybody talks about the law of attraction, but most people don't talk about the law of vibration. And the law of vibration is the second universal law that states every living organism, every inanimate object, every thought, every feeling, every desire has a unique vibration unto itself. And obviously, so does the voice. Each voice is as unique as your thumbprint. And so this concept is an actual fact. When we speak and our breath supports our voice, it causes vibration in the air around us. And so it literally does vibrate the world. So if we start with this premise, what if my voice could vibrate the world? If that were true, what would we say and how would we say it? And that's what I really believe, and that's what I help my clients do, so that when they speak, they're always heard. And also, when they're not speaking, they are still vibrating and sending a message. So we've all heard of the it factor, right? Or the X factor, or that presence, that thing that makes people captivating.
Je ne sais quoi.
The je ne sais quoi. Exactly. Exactly. And I truly believe, and you know, I've been asked this many times, can you teach magnetism? Can you teach charisma? And here's what I believe about that. Yes and no. No, because I believe every person is born with it.
Certainly.
Yes, because everyone has their own way of vibrating in the world. And so my charisma and my magnetism is going to look different than Sallana's magnetism and charisma, but it's still there. So what I do is I hold space for you to shine as brightly as you can. And I help you uncover your brand of magnetism and charisma, so that whenever you speak, whenever you walk into a room, because you are so aligned with the truth of who you are, people notice you.
I love that. Oh, and I know our listeners are loving it as well. Just hearing your voice, you're so inspirational. You're putting us in a mood to take action, actually.
Yes. Thank you.
Before we wrap up, can you share one thing that you're going to do with your next client to help them amplify their legacy in a way that you alone can do?
Oh, I love that. Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you for that. I am working right now with a client, and she has been struggling with money, and that has been stopping her from getting out on stages, getting on podcasts, because it's actually quite common that we all say we want visibility. We want to be on more stages, but there is an actual biological reason that we take one step forward and two steps back. And there are always reasons, right? Money is one, time is another. What am I going to say? There are millions of them. But the truth is, it's biological.
Wow.
If you look at our human history, the most dangerous place to be is apart from the herd, standing, right? Standing apart from everybody else. That's where you get killed.
That's
literally.
not a safe zone.
Yeah. It's not a safe zone. So I am working with my client Noor on how to, and please, I hope it's okay to say this, how to make money her bitch, because it's running her right now, right? It's running her, or the lack of it is running her. How to know that money is there to serve us, and that it's part of our energy. And when our energy is stuck, money shows up as stuck. And that energy is not flowing in her case because of a deep fear that she's not enough, and that it's very dangerous to be seen and heard.
Wow.
And so that's what we are working on right now. And I'm one of 5 people in the world that practices this specific healing modality. And I call it Reclaim Your Voice of Power. And what we do is we go back to those moments in life where you gave up your voice and you gave up your power because things were happening too fast, or it was too confusing, or it was too dangerous to speak your truth and stand in your power. And we reclaim those moments And we call it lovingly taking out the mental and emotional trash that shows up as limiting beliefs. And that's how we do it.
Oh, that's powerful. And the takeaway that you gave us, it's so very unique. We all have to start speaking our truth, living in our purpose, using our voice and vibrating our voice to the world. I love that right there. Monique, you've inspired us by your journey, and I know listeners are going to take away a lot of good information from our conversation. This has been so very insightful. So I want to thank you. And for everyone listening, make sure that you check out Monique's mastermind, her website, and her signature courses. And if you're ready to turn your voice into your superpower, I'm going to have all of the links in the show notes. Monique, give us where we can contact you and how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. I'm going to, you can contact me at themagneticvoice.com, www.themagneticvoice.com. And I have a gift for your listeners, Sallana. I call it the Magnetic Speaker Visibility Kit.
Okay.
And it's a series of exercises and tools that help you get ready to be seen and heard so that you can step into your greatness and speak from your heart. So I'm going to drop that in the chat for you so you'll have it, and I will be sending it to you so that you can put it in your program notes. And thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, and thank you for joining. So everyone listening, until next time, remember your voice has the power to create a lasting impact. So keep shining, keep doing great things, and keep amplifying your legacy. Bye-bye for now.
That's all for this episode of Amplify Your Legacy. A huge thank you for listening in today. I hope today's conversation has sparked some reflection on your own legacy. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Sallana Brown, and visit sallanabrown.com for more resources on growing and preserving your legacy. Be sure to leave a rating or review. It helps others discover the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with inspiration and actionable strategies. Until next time, keep amplifying your legacy.